nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have a presentation Mrs. Hennessy has put on, a discussion, I should say. A discussion this evening.
Okay, I guess sorry, I can't get to my presentation, so I'm going to look over here with my friend. So, what has been placed on tonight for discussion was to actually just bring you all up to speed. As you know, policy, might help if I had the mic on. Sorry for those at home. So, what was put on tonight was about the order of business policy. Reason being is we did recently approve this not too long ago. Yeah, just early January. But as we've been moving forward in our policy discussions and reviewing all of Chapter 2, it ends up that when we got to committee discussions directives, which is a policy, we were realizing that where we currently have it within our order of business is actually in a very awkward spot because it doesn't really allow for the superintendent's report and/or action items to occur so that we could actually have discussion, which we are doing anyway, or directives, which might be after public participation, after superintendent's report, and after the action items. We may actually have directives that we may wish as a committee to ask the superintendent, the business superintendent, to go through and do things. So I wanted to make everyone aware to kind of take a look at this. And when we move forward to bring you the policy on committee discussions and directives, we will also then be bringing back the order of business for discussion and probably a suggestion of changing around the order of business a little bit to be more conducive to how we normally do our business. And I just didn't want to surprise anyone since we had already just approved this in January. Okay? There you have it. Thank you.
So there's no directive after that discussion?
There's no directive right now.
Okay. Communications, non-superintendent's report.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. First, I'd like to start by praising all the actors, musicians, set producers, behind-the-scenes workers, and everybody who put on an amazing West Side Story. I love the show. It was my first time seeing it, so I was happy I saw it in this venue. The message of acceptance and love was well received by the crowd and continues to inspire me. Thank you to the countless volunteers, parents, and community members. Tim, you did a great job. Loved seeing you do it.
Thank you.
Do you have anything you'd like to add?
Absolutely. So first I want to give a big shout out to Mrs. Hennessy, actually. She pretty much ran, those of you who don't know, the week leading up to the show is just 5 straight days of, 5 to 9 rehearsal, and they have to feed all the kids, and Mrs. Hennessy really kind of took the lead on that and made sure that the kids had food, that the kids had water, fruit, all that really important mom stuff that she's really good at. And I appreciate you. And she took thousands and thousands of pictures, and they're all up on Facebook, and it's great. Onto the show, I had the distinct honor of playing Tony in the show. And, tackling a show with that kind of importance and that kind of message, especially in today's world, that motion of acceptance was very difficult. And I'm very honored, and I'm very humbled to be able to have done that with my fellow castmates, with my crew members, with my musicians, with my producers, directors, to kind of take on that message and really spread it to the community. So I want to thank all of you who came and saw the show, and I hope that you gained a deeper understanding of why we did the show and why we chose the show, and I hope you gained a deep understanding of the message behind the show through the entertainment. So thank you.
Thanks, Tim. You did a great job. Everyone did a great job. So I just wanted to recognize that outstanding achievement by everybody who put their time and effort into that. And my family loved it. So next on to the art show, I just want to thank Julie Baker and the entire art team for working so hard to transform the middle school into a gallery of artwork for the community to walk through. One of my favorite events of the year. I love seeing the creativity and imagination of the students. I can't help but smile every time I walk through the long hallway of elementary work and there's just everyone's lining up next to their picture and getting their picture taken with their parents, and everyone's so proud of their work. So again, just want to thank the entire art team, especially Julie Baker. And I'm going to invite Julie and her team to come to the meeting in June to recognize some of the special students who will have their pieces added into the permanent collection. So I think that'd be a nice thing for the school committee to recognize that. Workshops. I put out 2 dates for workshops, May 21st and August 6th. I did take a poll. I had 4 responses to the poll, and May 21st had 3 yeses and a conflict. Everyone was pretty much on board with August 6th, but they wanted to look at the times and maybe do a day meeting instead of a night meeting. So I guess we can continue to talk about that.
And I did check with Dorothy Presser. She's holding both of those dates open for us. She was available both of those dates.
Okay, perfect. So I think we potentially could make both those dates work. May have to switch a little bit of the times up. I have a special recognition tonight. I'd like to thank Mr. Daniels for bringing this to my attention, but I'd like to recognize outstanding achievement from a student, Ella Hoban, who claimed first prize in the entire state for the Will McDonough Writing Contest. Ella wrote about Allie Raisman and Allie's public battle to combat sexual abuse. Ella wrote an outstanding essay, and I'm happy to recognize her for this achievement. Ella, would you like to come up and address the school committee and tell them about what you wrote about? Thank you.
I wrote my essay about Allie Raisman and how she overcame the challenges that she was faced with and how she's making the gymnastics world safer for gymnasts like me.
That's great. Well, you did a great job, and I'm not sure if you could see the poster board that you had from the contest that showed that.
Wow.
That's great, and you were recognized, and I believe that you might have gone to a Celtics game. I'm not sure if that's true.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun too. Mr. Diaz here has a book for you to encourage you to continue looking at journalism.
Thank you.
So we're all very proud of you. Thank you.
That's awesome. Mr. Superintendent, might we be able to put her essay up on the website? Or
That would be a
make-
question. It's her work.
It's obviously your work, but is that
Is that okay?
so that everyone could read it?
Thank
That would
you.
be great.
That'd be great, thank you. Congratulations.
I just have a couple reminders now. Obviously, April vacation, the 15th through the 19th. For some, it can't come soon enough. We're all ready for a vacation. The reminder, April 27th is Project Clean Sweep from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. May 3rd, the Special Olympics at Bowditch Field in Framingham from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Additionally, didn't make my report, but I wanted to let you know that Day on the Hill is May 1st. If you would like to go to that, please let Patty Sibilia know. She'll register you, and we can take care of that. And additionally, again, it didn't make my report, but I'm happy to note that through some savings in some turnover, as well as having a leave of absence that is going to give us a little bit of money back, we can fund the communications position, which has remained vacant this year, at a 0.4 level for next year. So we're going through that process now, and our hope is to post that position in the near future. But through some budget work, we've been able to recapture a piece of that position moving forward, which is really important to the district. So, and that's my report for tonight.
Great, thank you. Mrs. Murphy?
Thank you. On Monday, March 11th, Supervisor of Visual Arts Julie Baker kicked off the celebration of National Youth Art Month with an exciting day of art at the Early Childhood Center. All preschool students were scheduled for a 30-minute art session to explore a variety of art processes at 5 different creation stations. 7 high school students who are members of the National Art Honor Society assisted at each of the stations. Pieces of art from this day were displayed in the Early Childhood Center, and selected pieces were included in the citywide art show. The following week, Supervisor of Music Jonathan Rosenthal taught students new songs, poems, and rhymes that helped foster the natural wonder and joy for students over 3 days. Parents were invited to join students on the final day for an art show and musical demonstration. I'd like to report on 2 civics-related events. Approximately 190 sophomores in Civics U.S. History 1 classes went to the Edward N. Kennedy Institute in Boston on April 1st to the 3rd to participate in the Senate Immersion Module. Each student played the role of a senator, participated in various subcommittees, and debated the DREAM Act. They had a choice of what they would debate, and that was their choice. This experience built on what they learned about the branches of government and civics and gave them the opportunity to argue from evidence and apply their speaking and listening skills. Also, accompanied by high school history teacher Sean Mahoney, Marlborough High School sophomores Jack Badavis and Eli Plummer participated in this year's annual Student Government Day at the State House in Boston on April 5th. Along with student delegates from around the Commonwealth, they participated in a variety of activities to learn about state government, such as a simulated joint hearing, an executive session on House Bill 2007, an act for no organized head impacts to school children, and Senate Bill 1279, an act regulating flavored tobacco products. We've also been focusing on closing the achievement gap. And from December to March, approximately 65 administrators and teachers participated in 3 two-hour sessions focused on addressing the achievement gap. Dr. Paul Ash led these sessions and focused on proven strategies that have increased student achievement. Administrators and teachers worked in school-based teams and continued meeting at each of their schools over the 3 months as they studied data and identified current strategies that are working and those that are not. Last month, each team left with a theory of action. The superintendent has asked that for this work to be embedded in next year's school improvement plans. Finally, I'd like to report on a new instructional model that is currently being piloted at all of our elementary schools. So first, a little background. Last summer at the Massachusetts Superintendent Executive Conference, the superintendent and I attended sessions on restructuring RTI, hosted by the Wareham and Mashpee Public Schools. The presenter of these sessions, Carrie Thurston, is a former special education director who has been working with school districts in Massachusetts and Maine, focused on an intensive RTI model. This model uses both achievement and growth data to identify intensive instructional groupings. In December, the 3 K-4 principals, Jody O'Brien and I, went to a 2-day training on this model. The goal that we all have is for 90% of our students, at least, to reach benchmark by the end of first grade. Data is used to create flexible instructional groups, and sensory, auditory, and processing interventions are added to the academic focus in these groups as needed. It is Carrie's mission to give teachers the tools to know what to do when a child is in their classroom is complicated. Her goal is to reduce the number of special ed students, or students identified as special ed education needs. What this looks like in our kindergarten classrooms. All 3 elementary schools are currently piloting a grade-level RTI cycle in kindergarten. January kindergarten data was used to identify instructional groups. For 1 hour a day, students are assigned to these flexible instructional classes. Additional staff, including special education teachers, EL teachers, and occupational therapists, are assigned to the classes that need the most support. For next steps, we will be collecting data to measure growth on all of our students, as well as achievement. We are hosting a 2-day training in June, and each school will be sending a team of teachers. Carrie Thurston will also be providing a full day of professional development to all K-4 staff during our August opening days. Carrie and her partner will also continue to work with all of us to look at our data and our instructional groups and resources. It is our plan to continue this model into first grade and to continue to update you at the end of this year with data and throughout the upcoming year. Yes?
I have a question about how that's going to affect our elementary school teachers, like themselves. You said that there was more of a emphasis placed on kind of early intervention and catching the sensory auditory disorders
Yep.
before they become an issue in the later grades.
Yep.
Does that mean that the elementary school teachers are going to have to be more specialized, or are we going to have to hire more outside people to come and do early intervention?
So it means that they're all working as a team. It's amazing to watch. So there are some of the kindergarten teachers that are working with students, and they're actually working on first grade work.
Oh, awesome.
So that's exciting. And then there's groups of teachers all working, and we've both seen it, all working together in small groups, and they're all doing targeted instruction on those students, and they're doing it rapidly to increase their performance right away. So hopefully they're all going to, the conversations we're having right now is no longer are we just okay with end of kindergarten, we're trying to get everyone into first
Right.
grade by the end of the year. It's
Awesome.
very
Great.
exciting.
Thank you.
It's a great question.
I mean, I'm going into education, hopefully this.
Oh, good.
Hopefully
Take
you'll
notes.
come back to us.
Yes. Any other questions? Seeing none? Thank you. Acceptance of minutes, Mrs. Matthews.
Motion, I did hear from somebody, so motion to accept the minutes with amendments.
Motion made and seconded to accept with amendments. Any discussion? Seeing none? All in favor? Opposed? Carries. Public participation? Public participation? Seeing none? Action items? BPA. Mrs. Haley. Hi, everyone. Good, how are you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it says
is it
push.
green?
You can hear me fine now? Okay. So I'm here, this year, the National Leadership Conference is going to be held in Anaheim, California, and I'm seeking approval by the school committee for the 3 Marlborough High School students of Business Professionals of America who qualified or moved up to qualify to attend the National Leadership Conference. And it's going to be held May 1st through May 5th. There's also attached an itinerary and the students who are attending. I'd also like to acknowledge, I'm not sure if Principal Riley got a chance to do it, but there were 27 well-behaved Marlborough High School participants at the State Leadership Conference, and 11 individual event award-winning and 6 team award-winning events. And the highlights are that in accounting, Bailey Honer and received first place in the entire state, Mia Weeks second place, Ben Johnson third, and that's the highlights. We also got 4th and 5th place. And in payroll accounting, Jack Tobin actually got a perfect score. I'm not sure if that's ever happened before. And then Bailey Honer got 3rd, and Mia Weeks got 4th in payroll. It's really great. And then Bailey Honer for 1st, and Nick Patel for 5th in digital marketing. And Dottie Davis was a merit scholar. There's other winners, and you can read that, but that was the highlights of it. So we're just having 3 students attend this year, and I'm seeking approval to be able to take them to California.
So just so you know, Mr. Riley did give us.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
But it was nice for you to tell everyone else.
Okay.
Motion to approve the BPA trip to Anaheim, May 1st to the 4th, is that it?
To third.
Well, it's
Second
1st to the 5th. Technically, we're going to take the red eye, so we get home on the 5th.
Great. And that's, and you and another chaperone?
Yes, that's correct, Miss Sydney.
2 adults to 3 student ratio.
Yes.
But they are well behaved.
Yes.
Motion made and seconded to approve. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carries.
Thank you.
Have
You
fun.
have a good time.
Just want to say thank you for all the good work, and I'm happy to see that we swept advanced accounting.
It is. That's really impressive.
It is really. It's great. I know. Unfortunately, the chair's not here. It's great.
Yeah, you're always looking for judges. It's really great to judge. There's so many different events.
I'll go to California. Seeking approval.
Moving on, new MHS scholarship.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. There is a new scholarship being offered by Walker Development and Construction Management. They're offering an annual award of $1,000 to a graduating senior pursuing the field of business and entrepreneurial interests. They've submitted their own application and will select the recipient. The recommendation is for the school committee to accept this generous offer so that our graduates can be able to receive this scholarship starting this June.
It's great. Continuing with the business theme. Yes, we do.
Motion to accept the new scholarship from,
Walker Development and
thank you.
Construction Management.
Well, thank you. Walker Development Construction.
With gratitude.
With gratitude for their annual award of $1,000.
Motion made and seconded to approve. Any discussion? Every time I say approve, you cough. All in favor? Opposed? It carries. Thank you to Walker Development and Construction. Marlborough School Administrators Office Support Association Collective Bargaining Agreement, July 1st, 2018 to June 30th, 2021.
So we have a memorandum of understanding that's already been signed by the school committee and the School Administrative Office Support Association. And this is the collective bargaining agreement that also needs to be signed. So there's no action on this, there's no vote, but I will pass it around for the members of the negotiations subcommittee, and I believe the mayor also should sign it. I'll check that real quick, just to make sure.
On the CBA, it's usually everybody.
I was gonna say, I thought it was.
Usually CBAs we all sign,
Yeah.
right?
There's room for everyone to sign.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
And in the same vein, the Marlborough Behavior Tech Collective Bargaining Agreement, July 1st, 2018 to June 30th, 2021.
Again, we have a memorandum of understanding with the Behavior Technicians Association, and this is the collective bargaining agreement to be signed, and I will pass it around.
Thank you, and thank you to the two unions for their collaboration.
Absolutely.
Moving along, approval for contract for food services management company. Mr.
Thank you.
Diaz.
Thank you. So tonight we have a recommendation to award a contract for food service management company. As we know, historically, we've contracted with the food service management company to oversee our cafeteria operations. We put out a request for proposals, seeking responses for vendors, and we received 2 responses. One from Fresh Picks Cafe and one from Aramark. We established a evaluation committee comprised of 2 school committee members. Thank you both. Heidi and Catherine. 2 food service managers and myself. The summary of our evaluations are attached to the agendas tonight, and we're recommending that we award the contract to Aramark for the next 5 years.
Thank you for your work. Mrs. Matthews.
So I want to say thank you to Mr. Diaz for including us on it. And it was nice to see a new name bidding on food services. And I wish them well, because I think they have a opportunity out there. But
Just not here for the next 5 years.
no, but it also gives us opportunity with our new contract for improvement on things too, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Mrs. Hennessy.
Thank you. One thing that I think that I wanted to make sure for the full committee to understand, after we had finished reviewing all of the RFP information and the different categories, and obviously then you move forward with the bid situation, some of the things that did come up in conversation was around some of the ideas that we were hopeful that we could sit down to the table with Aramark to discuss. Some things that I think you had already been pursuing discussions about looking at extra food that is left and how could we potentially utilize that to support some of our population instead of some of it going to waste. Different opportunities of making sure that the athletes had additional snack support, different breakfast opportunities. So I think there were a number of different points that kind of came out in our conversations that were very helpful, and I look forward to moving forward on further discussions with them. So,
Absolutely.
thank you.
Thank you.
So going off of what you said about, I saw something online recently, and it was like all the cafeteria food in some certain school district was freezed and packed away for kids who didn't have lunch or whatever. I work at Starbucks, and one of our regular customers she runs the food pantry. So once all of this gets cleared out, if you want like a contact for the food pantry, her name is Gretel. She's really awesome. She gets a chai. So if you're looking for contacts like that, I can get you her stuff, because I'm sure that she'd be all for this. So
That'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
And I'll put my 2 cents in. I sit on the School Wellness Advisory Committee, and breakfast in particular has been a big topic of discussion. So I'm sure our Aramark leader in district, who's on SWAC and has been working with us, will be pleased to know that her work will continue. But, we are very interested in looking at how we can make breakfast more readily available to everyone. It's great.
So with that being said, motion to approve the food service operations to Aramark with is it a 1 year with 4 renewables? Yeah. So 1 year with 4-year options at the end of each year.
Motion made and seconded to approve the contract. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carries. Thank you for all your work. Acceptance of donations and gifts. We have, did I miss something? No? We have Donor's Choice, Whitcomb School, Mrs. Hall's class for $406.16.
Motion to accept.
Motion made and seconded to accept. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carries. And we have Hannaford Supermarket. Ooh. Gotta make that bigger. Whitcomb School, $81. Kane School, $138.88. MHS, $213, and Richer, $180.
Motion to accept.
Motion made and seconded to accept. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carries. Thank you very much. And we have reports of school committee subcommittees. Any subcommittees?
Negotiations is continuing on with custodians, and we've set some additional dates as well.
Thank you. And members forum. Mrs. Hennessy.
Hopefully without a lot of coughing. I just wanted to say congratulations to the kids that all participated in MICA. I won't blow that information because we don't have everything comprehensive, I'm sure, yet, but, well, yeah, but they want to do like the big cheese info. So it was a really good presentation. So congratulations to everyone for their participation and the acknowledgements. And then also I wanted to make sure the community is aware for the all-nighter that is for after prom. There are a number of different ways that you could actually get involved to participate in trying to support that. If so interested, there is a flocking opportunity for flamingo flocking. And if you have never had that outside of your house, it's kind of,
I have.
oh yeah, it's kind of fun to all of a sudden walk out and find a bunch of flamingos, little pink flamingos out in your yard. And I'm sure if you would be interested, you could get a hold of any of us and you can get in touch with the committee members, and it's kind of fun to send it to a friend. And as well, my friend, Miss Ryan here, I think, well, you were instrumental in this. Seniors, or senior parents, I guess I should say, if you would like a sign that you can put out in front of your yard, that would actually say that you have a senior that is about to graduate Marlborough. It's a nice acknowledgement, and it does support the all-nighter. I believe it is until April 15th.
Yes.
That you can order these signs, and I would highly suggest them, since we have just a hair under 300, you too can order a sign for your yard, and it would be a great supporter. So, thanks.
It's members. Members forum. Anything you'd
members
like to
forum,
add
yeah.
to the discussion?
I reviewed the warrant and will sign it. That was my only.
Tim?
Just some stuff going on at the high school. So spring sports recently started. I don't know the dates or the events. I'm not good with that kind of stuff. I don't actually know what spring sports are. I know that there's baseball at some point and track and field. That's all I got. Lacrosse is one of them. Yep, my friend Nikki plays on the lacrosse team. About the music department. So we leave on our trip to DC this Friday. We'll be there until Tuesday into break, where we're going to go and perform and compete against other schools from the nation. So that's going to be super cool. I believe it's April 23rd is our spring concert. That's all of the performing ensembles in the high school put on a spring concert. May 3rd is All City Jazz Night, I believe. So all of our jazz musicians in the district are going to go and put on a concert, and that'll be super enjoyable. I'll get more dates and times as I find out more dates and times. Symphony Hall is on May 4th. A bunch of kids from MHS are going to go volunteer to work at the Gold Medal Showcase for Micah at Symphony Hall. So come support us there. And that's all I got right now.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tim.
And I will add that the Marlborough Education Foundation, whose sole purpose is to raise money for the Marlborough Public Schools, is having a road race on Sunday, April 28th. It's a 5K that kind of goes around the perimeter of the middle school to the high school and around and around. And it's also a fun walk. Just goes around the middle school for little ones. So it's a family-friendly event, and if anyone is interested, they can contact MEF through MEF online, or there will be posters and various lawn signs. Look for our lawn signs.
I also just want to point out that the calendar that was just handed out is incorrect. The dates don't line up for the days that there are. So May 3rd is actually a Friday, and the spring concert will actually be the 24th, if I can do
Tim,
my
that's
math.
next year.
This is next year.
You're going to be in college.
Beautiful. Okay, so I don't need to worry about
Don't
that.
worry about it.
Thought I was crazy.
Question about MEF.
Okay.
Did you bring my money?
I did not, we didn't get the checks yet, but you did win.
I did?
$240.
Come on.
you did.
Well, thank you
You
very
won.
much, and you can have the money. The organization can keep it.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Mayor was one of the,
Yeah,
you won for the, when it got down to the final four, you won one of those two games.
One of the early ones that was like $2.
Well, 15 is the lowest that you could win,
It's
so.
not gambling at all.
Any other members? Seeing none.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carries. We are adjourned at 8:05.
Take them away.